I would like to play a game. And no, it's not the notary game. It's a very special game, in fact. We're going to play this game called Never 7, the End of Infinity. And one thing that I will tell you about this game is that it is very sick. The characters in this game are very sick and twisted. They're doing everything for the sake of research. In my defense, in my story, with my reasoning, the very specific things that happened, it was all done to save the life of a young girl. Or it was done to save the life of the entire world, the race, the human race as we know it. However, in this game, it's done just for the sake of research, and Mamayo got him. And this cannot stand. This game is sick. These people are sick. I cannot stand this. We're back.
We're back. We're back playing some more Never 7, the End of Infinity. Let me get rid of this. Hi. Hello. Hopefully the effects mic was not too loud or too quiet. I tried testing it before stream, so hopefully it sounded okay. You will, fortunately or unfortunately, be able to hear
the Zero voice all throughout stream, and maybe even in a few more Never 7 streams.
When I was like playing around with the filters and stuff, I wanted to make sure that it had that quality, that like 10% quality of just like, what? I don't understand what you're saying. What? Can you speak a little clearer? Do you have subtitles? I think that's very important to the Zero voice, so I tried to include that in, but I don't want to speak with it too much, given the nature of it. So anyway, yes, we're back with some more Never 7, the End of Infinity. Last time, honestly, Izumi told us something crazy, told us something insane that was just like, we were trying to research some more about Courie syndrome. It was like last minute too, like last minute, hey, I had this crazy thought, what if we decide to research Courie syndrome? And there's a specific way to say it, and I keep forgetting what it is. Courie syndrome. And, you know, she was just like, well, never mind, I guess that's out the window because we really did go back in time, so I guess time travel is real. You know, that's kind of crazy. And I just think the characters in these games, I don't know. I have to get to the end to be sure of at least this route to see how I really feel about it. But for right now, I'm just saying, like, that's kind of insane, Izumi. That's kind of friggin' insane. Why would you do that? So, let me tab back into the game, and let's continue. Oops. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's continue. There we go. With the game. Accelerating daily life, Izumi cure routes. Alright, let's go. Afterward, Yuka and I go buy rice. After Izumi-san's dinner, we head to the pool, and an earthquake occurs at the same time as the previous April 1st. Oh, right. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Makoto had his own, like, Joker arc. I don't know, he was, like, going crazy. He was going insane, which is fair and valid, given the situation. But he was going absolutely bonkers, and that was kind of a lot of the previous stream as well. So right now we're okay. We seem to be all right because Izumi maybe told us at least 20% of the truth, so that's kind of cool or neat or whatever, I guess. Of course, Izumi-san doesn't fall into the pool this time, but we end up being chased by the security guard just like before. After returning to Luna Beach, we listen to each other's stories, make dumb jokes, and before we know it, we had bonded like we'd known each other for a long time. Well, when I think about it, maybe that's only natural. After all, for Izumi-san and I, it wasn't actually our first meeting. Soon, it wasn't actually our first meeting, so apparently Okiko was 100% in on the plan, and everybody else was supposed to be brought into the plan as time went on. But that's insane. That's insane. That means everyone was in on the joke except me, which I'm just saying, it feels so cruel. Ah, in that case, how about this? Why don't we all go to the pool tomorrow? We make plans for the next day and head back. I want to spend these 6 days without changing history. As much as I can, at least. Nothing absolute. Are you sure? I would be trying to change... I don't know, if I were in this situation, I would be trying to change history so much. Like, spiraling out of control. So there's no way that Izumi could fall off the cliff and, you know, die. But I understand the want to sort of keep it the exact same, because then it's like, everything is the same, so I've ended up at point A. Now we just have to make sure that B does not happen, so that C occurs. That makes sense as well. I won't let events I don't care for happen again, like Saki getting swept away by the wave, or Saki and Haruka's fight. And above all, the thing I really need to prevent, I must stop that tragedy from happening. But that's something that doesn't involve the others. It's a problem for only Izumi-san and me, so I decide not to include everyone in this matter. If Izumi-san and I cooperate, it's highly unlikely that the tragedy will happen again. Based on her behavior today, she probably has the same idea. Now that we know we've time traveled, there's no point in panicking anymore. We've suddenly been thrown into this strange world without any explanation, but brooding over it won't solve anything. Anyway, I tell myself to stay positive. Let's positive. Yeah, let's stay positive. Time travel and the reason for this infinite loop. Mysteries abound, but things are better than this morning. Go slow and steady and all the mysteries will be solved. I mean, I'm on route, what, 6? 5, 6 at this point, and I feel like I'm no closer. I feel like just now I'm finally getting closer to the truth, so I don't know about that, bud. I have no basis for this belief, but that's how I've come to think. Or, on the other hand, my mental state can only think this way now. Or, okay, that was the wrong line read, sorry. 10:46 p.m. And now I'm standing in Tsukihama. I've made up an excuse so I could go back first. Hey, I need some time to think about things. When I tell everyone, Yuka says, "Huh? Are you talking about the experiment?" Well, there's no point in thinking about that now. Even if there was an experiment, it ended up getting canceled, so you don't need to worry about it. I don't trust anyone anymore, so whatever. Seems like Yuka heard about the experiment from Okiko. According to her, while Izumi-san and I were discussing things inside that wreck of a truck, Okiko explained the experiment to everyone. So now, there are no more secrets even among us 7. Well, that's not entirely true, is it? Izumi-san and I are keeping the time travel bit a secret. Well, anyway. Yuka, Haruka, and Okiko go back to the lodge, and Saki goes back to her villa. The reason I stay alone at Tsukihama is, indeed, to find the bell. I don't know if the bell is directly related to our tragic end or time travel. I don't know, but at the very least, without the bell, the same history won't repeat itself. That's why. There it is. I easily find the bell. It sits upon the wet sand, reflecting its cold light. I pick up the bell and head towards the coastal road. Yay, we have the bell. That's never happened before. We just have it now. The only other time this has happened is the Yuka route. The Yuka Cure route. Either route, technically. The asphalt is illuminated by the moonlight. I walk along the road, looking for a suitable stone. I am gonna destroy this bell, so it never appears in front of me again. After walking a few yards, I find a piece of concrete. It's big and heavy enough to smash the bell. I place the bell on the asphalt and pick up the piece of concrete, and with all my might, strike the bell with it. Whack. In the silence, only the heavy sound of colliding stone echoes out. The bell's probably shattered into tiny pieces. Okay, confirm. Please confirm and check. Is this bell made out of, I don't know, magical demon powers, or... I turn over the concrete fragment, and... It's gone. Are you serious? The bell is gone. Somehow, the bell has disappeared without a trace. I mean, Yuka did say... I think it was Yuka? did say something like this was bound to happen, of like, even if you try to destroy the bell, like something's gonna stop that from happening. There are no shattered remnants, and it isn't stuck to the concrete. There was no sign of it ever being there. Why? Only my moonlit shadow floats over the cold asphalt. Yay! So we did absolutely nothing. So Izumi is bound to find it then. April 2nd, Tuesday. The next day, we go to the pool, as promised. Kurumi, as before, says she has a headache and stays at Luna Beach. At the pool, Yuka drinks a large amount of beer, despite the warnings Izumi-san and I give her. And of course, after returning to the lodge, Yuka says, Toro! I wanna eat Toro! I wanna eat Toro! As her drunkenness is out of control. But I won't cater to Yuka's whims. That might put Saki at risk of drowning again. Izumi-san and I skillfully change the topic and invite everyone to enjoy the cherry blossoms. Yay! Okay, so we've avoided that event as well. That's cool. That's so rare. Man, these timelines make it seem so easy, but we were having such trouble with it, apparently, in the Haruka route. We arrive at the path lined with cherry trees. Right now, Yuka and Kurumi are running around the Viewpoint Park Lighthouse playing tag. The remaining 5 of us had stopped at the cherry blossoms. This is probably the first time Saki, Haruka, and Okiko have seen them. They seem overwhelmed by the beauty. Confess your feelings at the Cape of Affection and consummate them at the Inlet of Love. Izumi-san says as she gazes absently in the direction of the lighthouse where Yuka and Kurumi are playing. Huh? What's that? It's an old local legend around here. It's said that if you confess your feelings to someone you love under that lighthouse, your love will come true. Ah, yes, we haven't heard this before, so I mean, that's why you chose that specific spot. I see. I had heard this story on the last April 2nd when we were sitting at Tsukihama. Oh, you did? Okay, you did. I kind of forgot about that. Why does Izumi-san feel the need to tell the same story twice? To really drive home the point of like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I have a crush on you. Like, I really like you. I'm just saying. I can vaguely guess the reason. But Sensei, from what I saw on the map, there's probably another cape nearby, right? Cape? Oh, you mean the cape further to the west than Viewpoint Park? Yeah, exactly, that cape. So I was just thinking, the Cape of Affection could be referring to that other cape, maybe. Oh, and then Izumi's like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. Oh no, Makoto, come here for a minute. Come here for a second. Why? Well, see here, on the map, there's a Torii Gate symbol at the tip of the other cape. In other words, there's a shrine there. Oh, you're talking about the shrine area. Okay. I think it would be much more beneficial to confess in front of the shrine than under the lighthouse. That might actually be correct. Right? However, if that's true, the legend itself would lose its meaning. Because there is no longer a shrine at that cape. But didn't it get rebuilt? Are we talking about a different shrine? Okay. Huh? What? 21 years ago, during an earthquake, the shrine collapsed. So you're lying. Of course, it wasn't rebuilt, so it's now all overgrown rubble, I think. Or you just don't know? Or you're lying. Or both. I don't know. I don't know anymore. So then, the map I saw, it must have been drawn before the earthquake occurred. Or it might be that the map hasn't been updated. Regardless, the shrine is now gone, so rather than confessing in that deep thicket, wouldn't it be more lovely to confess under this beautiful lighthouse? I see. That's how it is. Okiko seems to have completely believed it, but of course, I know that Izumi-san's current statement is all a lie. Okay, we've seen the shrine before. We have? Oh yes, Kurumi goes missing. I forgot about that. Okay. After all, I've seen that shrine before. I've not only seen it, but I've also been inside it. Come to think of it, back then, on the way from the shrine to Luna Beach, Kurumi said something like, That shrine, it smelled really nostalgic. It smelled like the hand-me-down clothes Big Sis gave me when I was little. I hope we get more of an explanation into Kurumi's whole thing. Because, like, maybe... I don't know, maybe we don't need more of an explanation. Like, it makes sense. I just want to know what happened. Yeah, no, there are some things that are still left unclear. Why did she get kidnapped? Why was he at the shrine specifically? And then we know that she got sent forward like 3 years. We don't know why, but I mean, time travel in this context doesn't have to make sense per se. I would like it if it did, but it doesn't have to. Different things like that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Izumi Kurumi and the shrine. Could there be some connection? Later, conversation about the shrine is easily brushed aside, and everyone was captivated by the beauty of the cherry blossoms. We spend our time as we please in Viewpoint Park. 4:04 p.m. Some admire the cherry trees, which are in full bloom. Others gaze out to the sea. And others, frolicking like children, laugh heartily while carving an umbrella on the lighthouse wall. This is a past I've experienced for the first time. This time, a new reality has been born. History seems to be steadily changing. In the end, Saki didn't fall into the ocean, and the existence of the Shikinomori Shrine was never revealed to anyone. If things like this continue, the worst-case scenario will never happen. The future doesn't necessarily move in one predetermined direction. Izumi-san and I, with our determination, can change its course. And in 5 days, we will finally break free. I don't know about that. I don't know. Just because I know it's a video game, and I know that at some point, even though it's been like 20 hours or whatever, it's been a long time, I will have a choice, and that will lead to a good and bad end, so. From this wretched infinite loop. 4:21 p.m. From this infinite loop. Something suddenly catches my attention. On the way back from the park to Luna Beach, I intentionally slow down. Gradually distancing myself from everyone's fading figures, I find myself alone, lost in thought. An infinite loop. I thought for sure we were gonna find the bell there, and I was like, what the hell? Where did it go? How did it come back here again? An infinite loop. Considering the situation so far, that speculation does seem to be accurate. I've been repeating the 6 days starting from April 1st countless times. That's why the predictions from the previous 6 days have all been spot on. Because I've experienced it all before, I remember some of what had transpired. But only in the corner of my mind. You could say my memories from the previous loop were very hazy.
That's why you must connect to the morphogenetic field, Junpei. Makoto, whoever you are, you must connect to the morphogenetic field.
You could say that my memories from the previous loop were very hazy. While I can vaguely recall things that just happened just before they happened, I've forgotten almost everything else. So why does my current self have so many perfect memories? What even is memory anyway? Oh no. This really is the blueprint for it. Oh my god. Isn't memory something etched into the mind? Or maybe it's shared in a cloud-based computer in, somewhere in the clouds. I don't know. My current mind is my mind just before time travel. If not, I shouldn't remember events from the previous 6 days. So are Izumi-san and my minds floating through space and time, settling into each respective skull? I chuckle at the absurdity of that thought. You chuckle at it now, but I gotta take things more seriously. Even as a joke, that's way too lowbrow, right? Though I admonish myself, I try to delve deeper into my thoughts. However, I end up with the same question. Why do I have perfect memories now? Where did such vivid memories come from anyway? No matter how much I ponder this, I can't resolve anything. 4:23 p.m. The others' backs are dyed red by the setting sun. All 5 are filled with joyful laughter. Huh? All 5? Speaking of which, where's Izumi-san? Hey, Makoto-kun. I'm here to jump scare you. Izumi-san? Come on, you don't need to be that surprised, do you? When did you arrive? I've been here this entire time. You didn't notice? No, not at all. I was kind of thinking about something. Thinking about something? Well, about memories. Memories? Yeah, memories. I think we might be in an infinite loop. Oh, yeah. It's hard to understand if I just say that, right? Well, where should I start? Come to think of it, since we talked in our truck, Izumi-san and I haven't had a proper conversation. There are many things I've been wanting to ask her, but we've never had a chance to be alone together. So I haven't told Izumi-san anything about time travel or the infinite loop. Yeah, I get it. It's okay. You don't need to explain. I think I kinda get what you're trying to say, Makoto-kun. Huh? Is this what you're trying to say? The reason your premonitions in the previous loop were correct is that you remembered the events that were about to happen. Remembering them means you've experienced time travel before, so this isn't the first time it's happened. Thinking about it that way, we might be repeating these 6 days endlessly, beginning April 1st. In other words, it's not just time travel. It's an infinite loop. That's exactly what I mean. But there are things that can't be explained by just that. Are you talking about the memories you mentioned earlier? Yeah. When we time travel this loop, we remember past events clearly, but previous loops, we'd forgotten almost everything. Well, who's to say that you've spent time with Izumi? So maybe it's because you're quote-unquote with the girl of your dreams, even though there's, there's other routes with other girls. But maybe because you love her now, and you're with her now, you can clearly remember. Because you have that love. Yes. So you've been thinking about the reason for that. Yeah. Izumi-san's expression has changed drastically from yesterday. It's bright, as if something has released in her, as if she's forgotten her troubles. Why is Izumi-san able to stay so calm? But wait, aren't I being unusually calm as well? Hey, Izumi-san, you remember that you died, right? Are we okay like this? Is it really okay to be so laid back about this? For now, history seems to be changing as we hoped, and if we continue like this, we might safely finish this seminar retreat. But in reality, we don't truly understand a single thing about the underlying issue, correct? Can we confidently say that we can escape from the infinite loop without ever knowing its root cause? If we hadn't fallen from that cliff, we wouldn't have traveled through time. This is interesting because at the very end credits, it says that like, hey, you're not really out of the loop yet. Which I assume it's because it's like, now go back and do the other routes. Ooh. But like, if it's plot relevant that I've been going back and doing all of the different routes, then that's insane. I don't know, maybe. I thought that was the case, but thinking about it carefully, there's no guarantee that that's really it, right? Yeah, for sure. There's no guarantee. For example, even if we were huddled in bed when the 6 days were up, we don't know if we would time travel or not. Yeah, that's true. You could be right, Makoto-kun. So maybe it's best to find out the cause of this time travel phenomenon as soon as possible. Otherwise, we might never escape from this infinite loop. Izumi-san is silent, deep in thought. Did she not understand me? Or is there something else? Yes. Oh, yes. I understand well what you want to say, Makoto-kun. But you know, how can I put this? Give me 1 second. But you know, how can I put this? Am I tabbed back into the game? There are two things I want to tell you. First, the infinite loop. For you, Makoto-kun, it might be like that, but what about me? Huh? In the previous loop, I never had any premonitions, not once. Because I didn't have the memories that you do. So for me, this is the first experience. My first experience traveling through time. Now that you mention it, that's true. And second, you think it's best to find out why we're time traveling, yes? Yeah. Yeah. But you know, there's no need to do that. But why? Well, I already know why it happens. Yeah, of course you do, because your little sister traveled through time. And you know about the shrine. You know. You already know everything. Huh? Huh? I thought about it all night yesterday and finally figured it out. Of course, I had been thinking what if before that. Remember, on the night of the 5th, I tried talking to you about your premonitions, right? Yeah. But that alone can't be explain everything about time travel. For example, the memories we've been discussing. But now, I feel like I understand. This morning, I figured it all out. The cause of us traveling through time is I involuntarily hold my breath. I prepare myself not to miss a single thing Izumi-san is about to say right after this commercial break, because I'm gonna take a sip of water. So very, very short. Give me 1 second. All right. Not to miss a single thing that Izumi-san is about to say. Woohoo! The moment the tension is approaching, even if it feels like my heart is stopped. However, for fun. Hi, Yuka. Hey, Izumi-san, Makoto. Yuka's voice reaches us from a distance. It sounds like she's running towards us. Jeez, why now of all times? Hey, Izumi-san. Can't be helped. Let's just leave this conversation for later. Just then, Yuka appears from behind a sharp curve in the road. Why is she like this? Come on, Yutsu, you're walking so slow. That's not true. You're just going too fast, Yuka-chan. What? Really? Well, who cares? Just hurry up. Yuka grabs Izumi-san's hand and starts running again. Hurry up, Makoto, jeez. Hey, what's wrong, Yuka-chan? They're amazing, they're amazing. You've got to see this, it's amazing. Something amazing? What? There's so many. It's like they're flying. What are you talking about? Now I'm even more confused. It's fine. You'll understand once you see. Oh, give me a break. And eventually, the figures of Izumi-san and Yuka disappear around a bend in the road. Left alone, I suddenly look down, and there, at the side of the road, I spot a piece of concrete. It's the one I tried to use and smash the bell last night. Come to think of it, that bell. Where exactly is that bell? I mean, if history repeats itself, you don't gotta worry. It'll end up with Kurumi, and then it will end up with Izumi. Unless you definitely want Izumi to be like, no, I don't want you to have the bell. In which case, just talk to Kurumi, you know? Is it connected to the time travel? Time travel. The infinite loop. The riddle of my memories. The true identity of the bell. The more I think, the deeper the mystery gets. I wonder what Izumi-san is thinking about now. Does she really have the key to solving these mysteries? That sense of calm I had just moments ago has disappeared, as if it had been a lie. To the east, a glossy ripple that could be seen on the sea, enveloped in the evening darkness. Layers of black waves pile up, surging towards the shore. A pod of dozens of dolphins can be seen jumping in the waves. That's so dope. What the hell? For some reason, seeing those frolicking dolphins makes me feel envious. What the heck? I would be like, yo, dolphins, that's so cool. Anyway. 7:48 p.m. After having dinner at Luna Beach and thanking Izumi-san, we leave the restaurant. In the end, I never get a chance to be alone with her. I mean, you could always leave and then come back later. So of course, I don't get to hear any more. But can't do anything about it, I guess. Tonight, I can secretly sneak out of the lodge and come back here. Yeah, exactly. If I wait until Kurumi falls asleep, I should be able to speak with her as much as I want. I start walking towards the lodge. And then... Oh, I forgot! The door is flung wide open and Kurumi reappears. This is the little, big sis. So, hey, there's something I want to tell you. I decided to start calling Okiko-okun. And Makoto, I decided to call you Big Bro. Okay, whatever. Whatever. It's fine, right? Big Bro. Skip mode does not work for this, because we're on a new route, but it's still the same dialogue, I guess. Okay, Big Bro, huh? Feeling pangs of nostalgia. I slowly head back to the lodge. ... 9:25 p.m. When I get there, I take a bath, brush my teeth, and lay down in bed. Tonight, I don't change into pajamas because I plan on going out. In my street clothes, I stare absent-mindedly at the ceiling. So why is the teacher not staying with us in the lodge if she's the teacher that's responsible for the assignment? Why is she just conveniently also working a part-time job here in the area? What does this mean? Anyway, in my street clothes, I stare absent-mindedly at the ceiling. And then, someone knocks on the door. It's probably Haruka. It's a soft whisper-like knocking. Come to think of it, I had invited Haruka to go fishing on the previous April 2nd. Which means, is it Haruka? Come on in. But who enters is... Izumi-san? Shh, be quiet. What's going on? I just had to talk to you about something. Huh? Our conversation this evening ended in a weird place, right? Yeah, so you came all the way here? I also need you to hear something. I need you to hear what I'm thinking. Izumi-san slowly sits down on my bed. I had to come here, otherwise we wouldn't have had the chance to talk. Actually, I was planning to go to Luna Beach tonight. It's perfect you're here. After nodding a few times, Izumi-san gently looks into my eyes. For a moment, beneath that kindness, I glimpse something like a shadow. A hidden, unending pain somewhere deep in her heart. What the hell? What the hell? Makoto-kun, listen, okay? Okay. How should I put this? It's very complicated, but essentially Kurumi went missing and then 3 years later she was found. And also, I had maybe a clone of my sister during that time. That might be Haruka, but you know, who's to say, really? You know? And then she just starts going into all the other information that we've learned. It's very complicated. The reason we're time traveling, your memories, why we're being put in this situation. These phenomena can't be explained from just one perspective. So I'm sure you won't understand, Makoto-kun. It's not that it's too difficult to understand or anything. It's just so far removed from common sense. You can still try to explain it though. Let's see if I understand. First, about Courie syndrome I mentioned yesterday. That's where I'll start. Wait a second. Courie syndrome. Does that have something to do with time travel? I think you should decide that after hearing me out. If you don't believe me, well, that's fine. Okay, so just hear me out till I'm finished. Okay. Izumi-san takes a tight hold of the bedsheets. She stretches and contrasts her hand, seemingly searching for where to start. Izumi-san looks up at the ceiling, then lowers her gaze and quietly gulps. And while gently touching her hair, Izumi-san eventually begins speaking. I haven't told Okiko-kun this yet. In addition to the 2 features I mentioned yesterday about Courie syndrome, there's actually one more. A very important 3rd feature. A 3rd feature? In response to my words, Izumi-san nods. Her look is serious, almost frightening. Makoto-kun, do you remember? Yesterday, I summarized the 1st and 2nd features as spreading delusions, remember? But you see, the phenomenon of spreading delusions is not really that rare. You mean like starting with a lie and then having people... like misinformation, essentially. It's better explained through the internet, but I mean, it's still... Yes, I get what you mean. Sure. Even before Dr. Caven redefined it, these symptoms had already been identified in different cases. Izumi-san, could you explain things a bit more easily? Gosh darn it. So, in essence, delusions that someone spreads to others. That kind of mental disorder is already called shared psychosis, and it's neither particularly new nor rare. Oh, shared psychosis. Okay. Okay, in that sense, okay, not, well, yes, okay, a little bit different from what I was explaining, but yes, I understand what you mean. So, you mean, in other words, when he examined the boy, Dr. Caven discovered another characteristic, a 3rd feature, that was not present in shared psychosis. So he proposed a new diagnosis, Courie syndrome. Yes, that's right. And what is this 3rd feature? You probably won't believe me. You said that before, that I wouldn't believe you. Is it pretty serious? Yes. In a word, it's an abnormality. What? If the 3rd feature is correct, it could fundamentally overturn the way this world exists. What? Makoto-kun, stay calm and listen, okay? The 3rd feature of Courie syndrome
Is morphogenetic field.
No, that's not it. What is it? Actually, it's related to what... Oh my god. Get me out of here. It's related to what Kurumi mentioned before about Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat? And just then... Oops. Oops. Haruka! Haruka-chan. Why are you here? Because she's our teacher and she has something to talk to me about? Frowning, Haruka tilts her head. Her gaze moves back and forth between Izumi-san and me. I invited her over. The words just slip out. You, Makoto? That's the wrong voice. You, Makoto? Yeah. Why? Well... You know, I wanted to ask her some stuff about the seminar retreat. We don't even know what we're doing here. If the secret thing has been canceled, then what's the actual point of this experiment? Who cares? Whatever. Haruka-chan, what's wrong? I wanted to talk to Makoto. To me? Might it be about fishing? Yeah, that's right. I want you to teach me how to fish. But how did you know that? Huh? Well, what do I say? Maybe just a good guess, you know? Jeez. Why do we keep getting interrupted like this? It's because Izumi just like really loves to sit on her words when she talks. She's like, okay, I'm going to tell you the secret of all secrets. This is the one secret that you need to remember, okay? And I'm not sure you'll understand, but just in case, this is the secret. And then we always get interrupted. She's like, just say the secret. Especially at the most critical part of the conversation. Oh my god. It seems like our voices caught Yuka's attention, and she also comes in. Huh, Izumi-san, why are you here? Makoto invited her. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the? Is that true, Izumi-san? Yes, in a way. Why are you saying that, Izumi-san? I mean, you said it yourself, Makoto, that you invited her. I didn't say that. Come on, Makoto, I don't need to hear any explanation. Bringing a professor here of all things. Really now, what are you thinking? All I want is to talk to her about the project. We can go into the living room and talk. It's fine. Whatever. Well then, Izumi-san, you're okay, aren't you? It's late, so please sleep in my room. But Kurami's home alone. I mean, she's 18, but we probably shouldn't do that. Huh? No, that's alright. And if I don't get back soon, Kurami will worry. What the hell?
What? Big sis, why are you here?
Why are you here? She's so funny, man. Kurami.
You suddenly disappeared. I was looking for you.
Looks like you don't need to worry. Right? Come and sleep in my room, Izumi-san. Is Yuka doing this intentionally? It feels like it. I don't know. Hey, what's going on? Oh, fucking get out of here. Why is everyone gathered here like this? That night, Izumi-san and Kurami stay in Yuka's room. I make a promise with Haruka to go fishing and squirm in my bed. Time travel. The infinite loop. The riddle of my memories. The true identity of the bell. The third feature of Courie syndrome. Schrodinger's cat. What kind of relationship do all these things have? I want to hear the truth from Izumi-san as soon as possible. I want to ask, but I just can't. Right now, Izumi-san is sleeping right next to Yuka and Kurami. What the hell is Schrodinger's cat? You already know. Didn't Kurami explain it? Or who explained it last time? What's this third feature? How are they connected to the infinite loop? Again, everyone... I mean, it's more... No, it's still psychology. Maybe it's more philosophy than psychology. I'm not entirely sure. But like the idea of Schrodinger's cat, I feel like you would just know if you had ever shown up to class once in your life, Makoto. And if not, you could just ask Haruka. Haruka would be the most unsuspecting person, I feel like. Just ask her, be like, hey, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? And if she says no, then she says no, whatever. But still, if you need more clarification on it, how are they connected to the infinite loop? I let out a sigh in the endless, deep darkness. There are some typos on this route in particular, I've noticed. April 3rd, Wednesday. 3:29 p.m. Haruka and I are on top of the breakwater, leisurely casting our fishing lines. Just like before, she repeatedly catches fish, then releases them. Smiling happily, Haruka stares at the end of the fishing line. For some reason, she seems to be showing more vivid emotions. I wonder why. On the previous April 2nd, Haruka and Saki got into a heated argument on this breakwater. Maybe because that didn't happen this loop, Haruka can now stay more composed. In any case, Haruka's happy demeanor makes me feel a lot better. Even though Izumi-san's mysterious words have been swirling around in my head, watching Haruka is so heartwarming it makes me forget them. However, I can't just continue to relax like this forever. I need to find out the truth from Izumi-san as soon as possible. If my timing's off, what happened yesterday might happen again. Now, Kurami should be playing tennis with everyone, so only Izumi-san should be at Luna Beach. Deciding on a course of action, I speak to Haruka. Hey, Haruka, I have something I gotta take care of. Something? Yeah, I have an appointment I can't miss. I still want to fish. Sure, you can wait here for me. I'll be back soon, okay? Soon? How long's that? About 2 hours, maybe? 2 hours. That's not soon, I think. True. You're right, that's not really soon. It's fine. I'm really sorry, Haruka. You're gonna go see her, right? Huh? Sensei. No, what are you talking about, Haruka? It's okay. I won't tell anyone. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna see her. Okay. I'm serious. Okay. Anyway, I gotta go. Okay. See you later, okay? Okay. Hey, Haruka, do you really understand? Okay. Oh, no. A different line. Yes, it's fine. My lips are sealed tighter than a bank vault. Good grief. That was cute. Aw. Again, I really like Haruka, too. I think Kurumi is like, she's really funny, but that was like understated humor there. It was really nice. So Haruka's, I'd say Haruka is pretty funny as well. Saying goodbye to Haruka, I leave the harbor. I walk quickly through the shopping district, heading towards Luna Beach. And on the way, I happen to notice a flyer posted on a utility pole. The upper half is torn, making it hard to read. However, at the bottom, it reads, July 7th, Sunday, Tokitsu Kasa Shrine Festival. Please join us along with your family. The Tokitsukasa Festival, huh? Huh? Tokitsukasa? Tokitsukasa? And then, suddenly... She's doing this on purpose. She has to be stalking me. What the hell is this? Hold on, let me go back. Did I read this wrong? Oh, no, I did not. Okay. It's... the way I was, like, breaking it up in my mind is to, and then kitsu, and then kasa. But it's Tokitsukasa. Yes, I see. Tokitsukasa. Yes, hello, Yuka. What do you want? Hearing a spirited shout, I turn around. It's Yuka. She must have brought a toy sword from the souvenir shop nearby. She's gripping it tightly.
I will avenge my father! Prepare yourself!
What the fuck is wrong with Hey, you're supposed to say, you got me. Listen, Yuka. This is just so... and again, I didn't do the entirety of the Yuka route, so maybe I don't know. But like, the back and forth between us was so different in that route. You seem so sus in this route. Honestly, I'm gonna be so real with you. What's going on? Why are you always talking to me?
Stab! Stab! Stab!
Sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Just you wait, you immortal monster!
Who's immortal? A mortal monster? There is no death within me. Therefore, I cannot die. I will not die, nor can I die. For eternity. Those were the words of the boy.
Yeah! Stab! Shake!
I really like the voice performance here that she's giving, though.
Oria!
Dunk. I grab the sword and Yuka's swinging at me with my right hand. Sorry, I'm really in a hurry here. So next time, okay?
What the hell? What's with that scary look?
I just wanted you to play along a little. Yuka lowers the sword. So, where are you planning on going, Makoto? Just around. Huh, could it be you're going to see Izumi-san? Why would you think that? No way. Boink. It's written all over your face. Yuka pushes the tip of her sword into my cheek. Hey, that's dangerous. Didn't your teacher tell you not to point sharp objects at people? True. When you hand the scissors, I got taught this in school a lot. When you hand the scissors to somebody, like during an arts and crafts project, you hand it with you holding the sharp blade, like side, and then you pass it so that the bunny ears are facing the other person. Very, very important. I push the sword aside. By my teacher, do you perhaps mean Izumi-san? No! Why is everyone talking about us? I mean, you and Izumi-san, it's suspicious. I mean, she did take us into the truck and was like, hey, I need to explain some things to you. That was super suspicious. I feel like Izumi, there could have been a better way of going about that. But otherwise, I feel like we're pretty normal, I guess. It's like you two are hiding something. That's not true. I'm right, aren't I? Boy, this girl is trouble. Yuka? By the way, why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be playing tennis? There you go again, trying to bluff your way out of things. Well, whatever, I guess. I came shopping with Kurumi-chan, actually. We played tennis all morning, so we got tired. You and Kurumi. I glance around. She's probably in some shop around here. So where is Saki and Okiko? I guess they're somewhere, I don't know. We were sword fighting until a little while ago. I see. This is bad. This is really bad. If I go to Luna Beach now, Kurumi might come back soon. I might have to abandon the plan. Ah, that's right! Makoto, wanna see something nice? Huh? Something nice? I just found this at that souvenir shop over there. Ta-da! Ah, this thing. I was like, is it about to be the bell? No way. Why? No, it's not the bell. It's just Neko Mew Mew, whatever it was. Yuka takes something out of her pocket. It's a keychain of a chubby cat. Isn't it cute? I'm not gonna give it to you, okay? I didn't ask. I don't want it. I told you before. Before? Huh? What? Did I say something strange? You said I told you before. Before? Before? I didn't say that at all. I just said that cat looks like a boar. What? Look, see, the cat's expression kind of makes it look like it's boring. I wonder. Sure, I certainly see it that way. A boring cat, huh? Muttering to herself, Yuka stares intently at the keychain in her palm. So from now on, this cat's name is gonna be Bor Kitty. Bor Kitty? That can't be its name. I've already given it a cute name. Cute name. Is it perhaps Nin Nin something? Is that it? Huh? What the? What? I'm wrong? You're completely wrong. Number one, that name is not cute. You came up with that name. Suppressing the urge to say this, I ask, so what's its name? This cat's name is... And we will find out after the break. After the break. It is just about time for a little bit of a 3-minute break. The hourly break of stream. Let me go over to Burb screen. Alright. Very interesting. We're getting a lot of, like... This is the root of answers, but it feels like we're getting so sidetracked as well. And it's not like... It's not for lack of effort. It's not like Makoto isn't trying, certainly. But, you know... It just makes me so suspicious of Yuka, especially. Of like, does she know something that we don't? But yes, anyway. I'm here. I will be back in 3 minutes. I suggest that you stretch, get some water. I'll be doing the same. And I will see you then. Alright, I am back. I am back. Let me go over to... Which one? This one. Alright, back to game screen. Let me put this over here, and then tab back into the game. Alright, cool. Continuing. This cat's name is... Oh my god. Maybe this is a good time to bring out the zero voices whenever we just mention Schrodinger's cat.
Schroeder.
Oh my god. Schroeder? Yeah, Kurumi-chan thought of the name. Apparently, in the manga called Kantan Island, there's a cat with a similar name. Kantan Island. Have you read it? No, I've heard of it though. I've never read it, so I don't really understand, but apparently the cat in the manga and this keychain look really similar. Interesting. Okay, so maybe psychology students wouldn't know it. My bad. It's more of a philosophy thing, maybe. Could it be...
Schrodinger's cat?
Huh? Doesn't the manga have a story about... Okay, we're gonna bring this up a lot. Maybe it's not worth switching back and forth for, but it's there in essence. It's there in spirit. Doesn't that manga have a story about Schrodinger's cat? And that cat's name is Schroeder. Huh? Why do you know that? You just said you haven't read it. Makoto, you're acting very suspicious on purpose. What's the issue here? I knew it. Kurumi-chan says the theme of that manga is Schrodinger's cat. It sounds interesting, so I'm thinking of reading it sometime. Interesting. Then, Yuka, do you know what the idea of Schrodinger's cat is all about? Huh? You don't, Makoto? No. I don't totally understand it. You know, Kantan Island, but not Schrodinger's cat? Don't worry about it, just tell me. Okay, well, you do know it then. Huh? About what? Duh, about Schrodinger's cat! Huh, Makoto, do you really have to shout? Yes! I'm shouting because you're just so damn clueless! But, wow. Someone needs an attitude adjustment. Is this how you're supposed to ask people for help? Okay, can I just go talk to Izumi? Like, is it okay? Can I just go talk to Izumi, please? I guess I'll head home then. Okay, I get it. I humbly apologize. I apologize, so please tell me, Kawashima-san. Toria! Step, 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 step. Washa! Thrust! Yuka suddenly attacks me, stabbing her toy sword at my body. Ow! You got me! Somebody help! I writhe in agony, giving a fantastic performance. Well, is this good enough? I guess it's fine. Saying that, Yuka swings the sword once and sheaves it in the scabbard at her waist. Oh, it comes with a scabbard? That's sick as hell. That's cool. So what's the deal with Schrodinger's cat? To be simple, it's the cat from the Schrodinger region. Rumors even say they were distant relatives of the Iriomo wildcat. Really? What the fuck? What are you talking about? No. Actually, that was just a joke. And you know that, Makoto, because, I mean, Kurumi gave some explanation of it, right? Maybe she didn't, and I'm just confounding memories of Phi with Kurumi. That's also entirely possible. Actually, that was just a joke. Yuka. Now listen up. I'm only gonna explain this once, so pay attention. Oh, Makoto, your shoulders are trembling a bit. Are you okay? Okay, looks like you're fine. Well then, where to start? First off, this Schrodinger guy is an Australian theoretical physicist who came up with quantum mechanics. Okay, so never mind. Maybe you'll learn about it in physics. I don't think so, though. I don't know, maybe. He derived the wave equation that describes the movement of electrons inside atoms. Wait a second. If I don't understand this part, will you give me trouble later on? You might be alright. In essence, Schrodinger is a pretty famous physicist. Just keep that in mind. Got it. Go on. So, a story created by this physicist is what's known as Schrodinger's cat. First of all, let me make it clear that this is a purely fictional story, okay? The purpose of this tale is to pose a what-if question. Okay, and then? To be brief, first we must prepare 1 cat, 1 bottle of poison gas, 1 completely sealed soundproof box, a small amount of radioactive substance, and finally 1 robot that can detect alpha particles. Alpha particles? Well, an alpha particle is the nucleus of a helium atom. Anyway, forget about the complicated stuff and just think of them as tiny little particles. The tiny particles that come flying out from the radioactive substance are alpha particles. A cat, poison gas, a box, and a robot that can detect radioactive particles, huh? Yeah. Then, next, put everything into the box and shut the lid. And there, that completes the setup. However, nothing will happen with that, right? Well, I guess not. So now, we're gonna use these materials to create a certain experimental device. The mechanism of the device is quite simple. When an alpha particle comes flying out from the radioactive substance inside the box, the detection robot, Shinkun number 1, senses it and breaks the bottle with the poisonous gas. But if we do that, the poisonous gas will fill the box. Yes, that's right! Because the box is sealed tightly, the cat can't escape. The heck? What's going on? Yuka clasps her hands together. Are we gonna... Oh, okay. Rest in peace, cat. You're the best of us. I thought we were gonna get like a whole diagram of this. It's like, we don't need this, it's fine. Well, but in the end, doesn't that just mean the cat dies when an alpha particle comes out? To put it simply, yes. But the most important thing here is that both the cat and Shinkun number 1 are inside the sealed box. So to an observer just watching from the outside, they wouldn't know when the alpha particle came out. They wouldn't know when the bottle broke. So they wouldn't know when the cat died, right? Indeed. Now, here's a question for you, Makoto-kun. If there was such an experimental device in front of you now, would the cat inside the box be alive or dead? It's both. It's both, apparently. Of course, you can't touch the box. That's impossible to know, right? The box is soundproof, so... And if I'm not allowed to touch it, there's no way to know if the cat's alive or dead. But wait. In the end, whether the cat is alive or dead depends on whether any alpha particles are released. So at least if that can somehow be determined, we might be able to make an educated guess. In other words, if we can predict when the alpha particles come out from the radioactive substance, we might be able to know whether the cat is alive or dead, right? Wow, phenomenal! You are so smart! Yuka draws her sword and lightly taps me on the head. Ow. That's right. If we know when the alpha particles are released, we can inevitably know if the cat is alive or dead. However, since these alpha particles are so tiny, with our current knowledge of physics, we can't predict their movement. Huh? How should I explain this? In essence, knowing when an alpha particle comes out is only possibly probabilistically. So in the end, the life or death of a cat can only be determined with a certain probability. That's the answer to the earlier question. For example, suppose, hypothetically, there's a... Hold on, I just have to say this sentence.
For example, suppose, hypothetically, there's a 50% chance of an alpha particle being emitted.
It's like, no, stop, I don't need to know. It's okay, it's fine. That means the cat inside the box has a 50% chance of being alive and a 50% chance of being dead. Really? Realistically speaking, the cat is either 100% dead or alive. It's an absolute. But that's not actually the case. That's why this story is so interesting. That's why it keeps getting brought up every single game. You're not gonna escape it. This is gonna be brought up in Ever 17 as well. My god. As I mentioned before, knowing when an alpha particle comes out is only possible within a certain probability. In the end, we won't know if it's emitted or not until we observe it. Before we observe it, the alpha particles in the box are in a state of superposition. Is that the correct pronunciation? Probably. Both emitted and not emitted. Superposition. Superposition. I don't know. Which means, until we open the lid and look inside, the cat in the box is in a state of superposition, being both alive and dead at the same time. Although, when you open the lid, we'll know for sure whether the cat is alive or dead. That's the story of Schrodinger's cat. Although apparently, physicists still interpret the story in various ways. So, you get it? Not at all. Oh my god, Makoto. Like, if you just take the simple, aspect of it, the simple essence of it. Oh, come on, why not? Maybe it's like me with, there was one concept that got brought up in the third third Zero Escape game. Which one was it? The Monty Hall. The Monty Hall problem. That one. That one fucks me up. I don't believe it's real. This can't. It really messes me up. I really don't like it. Like, my brain cannot comprehend it. But yes, I guess that's maybe how I feel about the Monty Hall problem is how Makoto currently feels about Schrodinger's cat. Oh, come on, why not? I thought I explained it pretty clearly. But seriously, it's weird when you think about it, right? Saying that until you open the lid, the cat is both alive and dead, and opening it determines its fate. It's inevitable, right? So you have to accept it as it is. Don't you think it's weird? Well, not really. Whoa, wait a second. Let me get this straight, Yuka. What you're saying is this, right? 3:50. Now it is, exactly 3:50 p.m. At 3:50 p.m., there's a square box in front of you. In the box, there's a cat that you don't know is alive or dead, okay? Okay. Now it's 3:51 p.m. You open the lid. Poor cat, it seems to have died quite a while ago. Okay. So even at 3:50, the cat was already dead. Yeah. It's impossible for it to be kept half alive. It was completely dead. Yeah, but we can say that because we observed it, right? I don't get it. Just don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too hard. Hey Yuka, couldn't you explain things a bit more easily? I told you. For the Makoto at 3:50 p.m., the cat was half alive and half dead. But for Makoto after 3:51 p.m., the cat from 3:50 was also dead. What the hell are you saying? That the past changed because I opened the lid? Rather than saying it changed, it's more accurate to say it was determined. At 3:51 p.m., you determined the past, Makoto. Ridiculous. We can't judge whether it's possible or not, right? That's right, isn't it? Okay, so if I'm trying to apply this, to the story at hand, the future has been changed because we opened the lid and saw what's inside. Or no, rather, the past has been changed. And the future can be changed as well, but rather, the past has been changed because we opened the lid and saw what's inside. Is just kind of a metaphor for time travel in and of itself, is what I would say. Just that, like, hey, because we opened the box and saw what's inside, we have now gone back in time with our previous memories. So our memory is functioning the same way, is my first thought, but maybe there's more to be had about that. Again, it would be so helpful if we could talk to Izumi, especially, but I don't know. That's right, isn't it? Since no one can check the state of the cat at 3:50 p.m. As going back to the past is impossible. What the hell? Well, why did it stop there? So we don't know whether alive or dead. But I mean, going back into the past is possible in this game. So we know that the cat is dead. We know that the cat is dead. We know that Izumi dies at the end of this, basically. Anyway. Oh, big bro, you're in danger! Fear not, I shall assist thee. Now, Lord Makoto, step aside. The monster cat girl appears. Oh, come on, I'm not a monster. And just for the record, I'm supposed to be a kunoichi from Iga, you know. Fine, I take that back. Let me deal with you using this treacherous sword, the Masamune. Are you prepared? I should be asking you that. On guard! Poke, 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 poke. Okay, I'm gonna walk away slowly now. Yuka and Kurumi start their plastic sword fight. Honestly, I'm not really paying attention. I don't care. You determine the past, Makoto. As going back to the past is impossible, Yuka's words echo in my mind. That Schrodinger's cat. It seems to have some connection with the third feature of Courie syndrome. Right. Okay, that was what she said specifically. So mass psychosis, shared psychosis, first two features, and then the third feature. The third feature is kind of like this feeling of knowing, this feeling of like, I just know because I know, right? Yeah? Therefore, this ability to say, like, I looked inside the box, therefore I know whether the cat is alive or dead before we even looked at it, because I'm a god. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Izumi-san mentioned that last night, but what relationship do the two have? Furthermore, the third feature might be related to the cause of the infinite loop. This is too complicated. It's so complicated, my head feels like it's gonna explode at any moment. Gosh, you're so annoying. We haven't even started. Oh, look, I see some pigs flying. Huh? Flying pig? Kurumi. Kurumi. Ha! An opening! Poke. You're so sneaky, Yuka-san. I'm not sneaky at all. There's no way pigs can fly. Dang it! Poke, 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 poke. Poke, 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 poke. While listening to the two playing around, I walked towards the harbor. I just walked back. I was just like, whatever. I'd rather be with Haruka right now. 4:07 p.m. Welcome back. What's wrong? It hasn't been 2 hours yet. Yeah, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. At that moment, Haruka's fishing rod bends vigorously. Haruka eagerly reels the line in. Her cheeks sparkle, bathed in the setting sun, and an innocent smile appears on her lips. Yuka, Kurumi, and Haruka, too, seem to be enjoying the seminar retreat even more than the previous loop. The world continues to turn today as well. Nothing's changed. Leaving me, tormented and troubled, by the wayside. Things can't go on like this. That's how I feel, but there are still many mysteries that I can't solve, making me feel depressed. It's better not to know about the future. How happy it would be to spend time leisurely, not having to think about anything, like in the last loop. But there's no turning back now. I have to focus on what I can do. Even if I can go back to the past, I can't go back to who I was. 4:30 p.m. The western sky is dyed red. Time continues to pass. Haruka, with her fishing line dangled into the water, watches the clouds change. Makoto. Have you ever kissed someone? Alright, here we go. The world continues to turn today as well. Nothing's changed. Left alone, I stand there helplessly. The sea breeze gently plays with Haruka's banks. ... After fishing, Haruka and I return to the lodge. When I go out to the terrace, Okiko's shouting about something. Unfortunately, I don't remember what he was saying. Soon, Saki arrives and passes by as if nothing had happened. Of course, the basket is safe. Because Saki didn't fall into the sea, she never found affection for Okiko, and as a result, there's no cause for her to get furious. Consequently, no one knows that Haruka is a clone. Saki herself may have doubts about it. After all, Saki and Haruka's relationship is so friendly, it's as if the previous loop was a lie. It seems that history is steadily moving in a positive direction. However, as time passes, I alone sink deeper into the abyss. Will this continue endlessly? Or will I eventually be able to crawl out? In any case, the fateful moment is approaching. The moment when all truths will be revealed. Oh, we're back here doing the test of courage? 8:39 p.m. The moonlight coldly illuminates the gravestones. Okay, if I'm going with Izumi again, which I should be doing, now's a great chance to talk about this third, aspect of Courie syndrome. The damp breeze clings to my skin. I'm walking on the grass-covered path in the graveyard. It's a little chilly, isn't it? Izumi-san's shivering next to me. Yes, I've been waiting for this moment. I already knew that when the test of courage started, I would be alone with Izumi-san. It's an ideal situation. No one to disturb us, no one to suspect us. More than 10 minutes had passed since we left the starting point. Okay, now, now, for sure, bring it up before something happens. I can't hear anyone's voices or footsteps. It seems like a good time to bring up the topic. Izumi-san. I say as I grab Izumi-san by the arm and pull her between the tombstones. Huh? What? I cover the panicky Izumi-san's mouth with my left hand, putting a finger to my lips with my right. There's no way anyone will find us here. With her voice muffled, Izumi-san nods. It wasn't really needed. That wasn't really necessary, but sure, whatever. I feel her wet lips on my palm. Her warm breath escapes between my fingers. Somewhat embarrassed, I hastily release her. That surprised me. Thought your emotion took the better of you. Oh, my heart is pounding. What emotion? I have not said that I like you or don't like you. Is this the cat box? Truly my feelings if I reciprocate any feelings for you? I'm the one whose heart is pounding. Her luscious white skin, the smooth lines of her neck, her open neckline revealing two well-rounded mounds. I swallow unconsciously. This isn't good. What am I thinking? Shaking off these inappropriate feelings, I avert my gaze. I feign calmness as I sit on a nearby stone steps. You were thinking something naughty just now, weren't you? That's not the point. I need to talk to you about Courie. I wasn't thinking anything like that at all. You've been saying the weirdest stuff. Is that so? With a suggestive smile, Izumi-san sits on the step in front of me. I wonder why. But when I'm with you, Makoto-kun, my mind feels so calm. Makoto-kun, you asked me yesterday, is it really okay to be so laid back like this? I feel the same way. As a psychologist, I seriously thought that we should be taking this issue more seriously. But you know, on the other hand, there's a part of me that doesn't really feel so. I want to accept the reality in front of me as it is. Just look. Saying that, Izumi-san looks up at the sky. The stars are shining tonight too, right? Regulus is still shining. The most important thing might be whether you can believe it, rather than whether it's true or not. To believe that the cat is alive, whether or not it's alive or dead. That's how it is. To suddenly experience such a strong phenomenon as it is, I think if you weren't here, Makoto-kun, I would have lost my mind. Because you're here, that's why I can believe it. Believe. To believe something. What is it that Izumi-san believes after all? I'm sorry. I said something crazy again, didn't I? I'm gonna be honest, I did think that. I thought for a moment, it's like, you sound more like you have Courie syndrome than I do. Than I have ever sounded like. But, I mean, we're also playing from Makoto's perspective, so who's to say? But I really want to say it. Before we started talking, no matter what. Makoto-kun, please. Izumi-san murmurs softly. She extends her right hand and touches my cheek. Her palm is so gentle. It lightly warms my cheek, chilled by the night breeze. Don't forget this warmth, okay? Don't forget that I exist, okay? I mean, you're not gonna die this time, right? Please elaborate. Please explain. I have absolutely no idea what Izumi-san means to say. However, my left cheek feels so warm it might melt. Hello, Ens. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the hydrate and stretch. I really need the hydrate. Bouncing around between Yuka's voice and then Kurumi's voice and then Izumi's voice is just awful. I will also stretch as well. All right. Ugh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, it's Asin. It's Asin Merc rather than what did I say before? Ans. I think I switched up the Z in the N. Anyway, yes, I hope you've been doing well. Endless kindness. The embrace of a goddess. That same tranquility I felt before, I'm feeling it on my left cheek right now. Okay, you promise me? I nod silently. Izumi-san gently removes her hand from my cheek, lightly placing it on her knee. As she smooths out the wrinkles in her skirt, eventually Izumi-san speaks. Let's start then. Her voice echoing in the darkness feels like the solemn beginning of some ritual. 8:46 p.m. Schrodinger's cat. The third feature of Courie syndrome. What connection do these two have? Makoto, do you know? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? Besides, I haven't heard anything about the third feature in the first place. Indeed. But you know about Schrodinger's cat, don't you, Makoto-kun? It's more that I learned about it than I already knew it. Today I asked Yuka about it. You asked Yuka-chan? Yeah. So how did Yuka-chan explain it to you? I can't really say how. She explained it to me. It's just... One can determine the past. Huh? Well, how do I put this? By opening the lid, whether the cat is alive or dead is determined. In other words, the observer determines the past. That's how Yuka explained it to me. Okay, I see. Then this will be simple. Huh? In other words, she's right. That's it. The observer's will determines the facts of the past. The observer's will. Yes. You mean when the lid is opened... Oh, when the lid is opened, if the observer wishes the cat to be alive, it stays alive. And if it wishes it to be dead, it dies. No, that's not it. That's not what I mean. In this case, by will, I mean a simple motivation to initiate an action. One wants to check the life or death of the cat, and thus wants to open the lid. It refers to the act of thinking such a thing. Okay. But do you know, what you said isn't wrong either, Makoto-kun. Huh? An observer's desires can change the facts of the past. Such phenomenon has actually been published in a paper. The person who wrote that paper is Michael Caven. Huh? Isn't that the person who counseled that boy, Tom? Yes, that Dr. Caven. So the third feature of Courie syndrome is... Wait. I'll get to that in a minute. If I don't explain things in order, I think it'll get confusing. Okay, Izumi, this is like the 12th time that you've done this. Please just explain the third feature. Gosh darn it. Ready, Makoto? Listen closely. As Dr. Caven continued to counsel Tom, he witnessed a miraculous phenomenon. Something supernatural that couldn't be explained by common sense. At the time, there was a terminal cancer patient admitted to the surgical ward of the hospital where Dr. Caven was working. It was a girl named Julia, just 12 years old. Her cancer had already metastasized, I think. Sorry, I can't read it. Throughout her body, and there was no longer anything that could be done. But one day, suddenly, a strange event occurred. The malignant tumors that were supposed to spread throughout her body disappeared without a trace. Even X-rays and CT scans showed no sign of the tumors had ever existed. In other words, Julia's cancer had been completely cured. The doctors in charge were perplexed by such a miraculous event, but they thought that maybe their treatment plan had worked and celebrated. But the story didn't end there. For some reason, from that day on, other hospitalized patients became cured of their diseases, one after another. wouldn't this have been written up? This would have been a worldwide event, surely. Everyone would have heard about this one hospital. Like, what the hell? I have to go there. Not just cancer. Heart disease, stroke, cirrhosis, kidney failure, diabetes, infections, aneurysms, stomach ulcers, all the way to pneumonia. Every imaginable disease suddenly, without any warning, was completely cured. So the third fact of Courie syndrome is the ability to actually cure the people around you, is what you're saying. The miracle spread rapidly, like some kind of contagion, throughout the hospital. Makoto-kun, by now you understand, right? Why such a miracle occurred. No way. The boy's immortality was transmitted. Okay, alright, well, I mean, this is like somebody falling into the psychosis to me, but sure. What does this have to do with us right now? Tom happened to come in contact with Julia. From there, contagious immortality made its way around the entire hospital. I mean, are they all still alive? Have you been keeping records of all those people? Even though they were cured, nothing's to say that they're still alive. That's right. The girl who triggered it, Julia, and the boy had known each other for a long time. Simply put, they were childhood friends. There might have been some romantic feelings as well. Anyway, the boy visited Julia's hospital room many times while she was there. I want to heal her sickness, and I have a mysterious power to make that happen. So one day, with that firmly in mind, Tom gently touched Julia's forehead, and everything started from there. Dr. Caven noticed this and consulted his fellow doctors, but the doctors were not willing to believe such a weird occult-like theory. In the end, Dr. Caven decided to investigate the phenomenon of contagious immortality and the cause of Courie alone. After a few months, Dr. Caven arrived at a hypothesis. I mean, as long as you're not like pushing it as like this is truth and you're trying to, how would you even begin to test this? But, as long as you're going through the scientific method, who am I to stop you? But who am I to really stop you? If we define the symptoms of the transmission of delusion from person to person as a kind of responsive mental illness, the content of the delusion in this mental illness can be likened to a living organism. This organism, suddenly born through mutation in one human, may thrive in people's consciousness, nourished by the validity of its existence, and the will of those who want it to exist, reproducing in one person after another. This game really does have me reading words out loud. What does any of this mean? Therefore, the more powerful the validity and the desires of the people at the time of the birth of this organism, the more intense its validity becomes. Therefore, the more powerful the validity and the desires of the people at the time of the birth of this organism, the more intense its validity becomes. Also, common sense is the greatest natural enemy to this organism's ability to reproduce. Common sense is the enemy. Okay, you gotta stop there, bud. You have to stop there. When it succeeds in possessing the life force to overrule common sense, this organism appears as a new reality. Could the religious miracles that have spread worldwide be seen as the movement of one of these organisms? People's consciousness, trust, and strong desire through validation is what made this organism a reality. A resolute will, delusions, may be able to create a new reality. May be able to create timelines, is what you're saying. So, in short, it's like this. First, someone tells a lie. That lie is so charming, people want to believe it. Furthermore, there is some evidence supporting the lie. For example, having witnessed a miracle, or actually experiencing a miracle oneself. So the people who are told the lie naturally believe it to be true. To believe means, in a person's mind, the lie isn't a lie. Delusions become truth, and fiction becomes reality. In other words, by strongly believing in a lie, a new reality can be created, right? Yes, that's right. And in Tom's case, the initial lie, the initial delusion, was contagious immortality. And the patients, firmly believing in this delusion, brought about miracles themselves. I thought the initial lie was that I had saved, it's connected to this, but the initial lie was I saved my sister from drowning. But whether they really became immortal or not is unknown, but at least the fact that the illnesses were completely cured is certain. I'm gonna take another swig of water here. So, Dr. Caven hypothesized. Perhaps miracles, both past and present, around the world might be the same kind of phenomenon. That's why it's called Courie syndrome. The word... Yeah! Actually, the word curé, the French word for clergy or priest, is implied. Yeah, when Black Blue had posted the pronunciation to curé in the Discord, I saw that it's like curé in French, and it's like interesting, but it means the word for priest. It's like, and I commented on that. It's like that's probably intentional. So yes, it was intentional. Okay. So the third feature of Courie syndrome is, that's right, delusions becoming reality. A resolute will creating a new reality. That's the third feature. 8:54 p.m. Izumi-san takes a deep breath, then exhales. She carefully smooths the wrinkles in her skirt and clasps her fingers on her knees. Schrodinger's cat. The observer's will determines the facts of the past. The third feature of Courie syndrome. A resolute will creates a new reality. I get it. These two do have something in common. Both involve someone's imagination changing a reality that's already supposed to be determined. The observer's thought of opening the lid decided the life or death of the cat, which until then existed in a state of superposition. The boy's thought of I will heal illness erased any tumor or lesion that should have been there. Now here's the rub. What kind of relationship does this have with the infinite loop? Someone's imagination changes reality. If that's the case, what about the phenomenon of time travel? Does it really exist? But it's not like we were saying before, like, oh yeah, time travel for sure is for real. Were we? Well, no, in this route, we were actually being pretty open about the fact that, like, hey, like, I'm just saying I'm having, like, some premonitions. Like, I don't know what that's about. So, a little bit, yeah. The experiment. My Courie syndrome experiment. In reality, the true purpose was to investigate its third feature. Oh. So it was a success. So you caused this to be willed into reality. Gosh darn, these people are sick. Izumi, I mean, I guess it worked, but you know, now we're here, we're back in time again. Just make sure that you're not gonna die again, okay? Lying to you, causing you to have delusions, and whether those delusions would truly become reality. That was what I wanted to investigate. Of course, at first, I was skeptical about the third feature. As a scholar, I couldn't possibly believe in such a ridiculous phenomenon. And I mean, there's no way to prove this. There's no way to prove, like, hey, we've gone back in time. Unless we go back in time again, and then, like, get a committee and, like, thoroughly be like, hey, we know everything that's going to happen in the next 7 days. So, I mean, you did it. You solved the experiment. Yippee. So the experiment was meant to find the alternative interpretation for the third feature. In other words, it was an experiment to refute the third feature, an experiment to disprove it. And you just kind of flubbed up on that one. Okay. Yes. But you know, contrary to my hypothesis, the experiment seems to have succeeded. The third feature, we've proven it. Huh? Wait a minute, Izumi-san. What does this mean? You said before that you've never done any experiment. Are you lying to me again? No, that's not it. What I said before is completely true. I've never deceived you, not even once. What? What you're saying doesn't make sense, Izumi-san. Then what do you mean that the experiment was successful? Why are you saying that we've proven the third feature? Because of what's happening in front of us right now. That we're experiencing this strange reality. That is the most convincing evidence. Time travel, infinite loops, premonitions, memory, all of it. It all proves the existence of the third feature. I don't get it. So basically, by believing, hold on.
By believing in morphogenetic field theory, by believing in that theory, I can make morphogenetic fields a reality. Of course, because I've read your research papers, Izumi-san. I've read your research papers, so I know this to be true.
Sure, okay. Sure. I don't get it at all, Izumi-san. I mean, think about it. The rice, the earthquake, the truck battery, your dinner, the cards. I accurately predicted all of them without anyone deceiving me. So my premonitions are completely unrelated to your experiment. It's ridiculous to connect this whole series of phenomena with the experiment. No, it's not ridiculous, Makoto-kun. I'm sure this is what happened. The lights! First of all, Makoto-kun, when you experience these 6 days for the first time, before getting caught in this infinite loop, my guess is that you didn't have any premonitions. During that time, you still didn't know about the rice, the earthquakes, none of that. So maybe during that first loop, you and Okiko actually went along with the experiment? And then myself in the past probably started the experiment as planned. Oh, so it's just loops upon loops upon loops, essentially, and it's built up to this one moment. Again, it's sick and twisted. It is sick and twisted that you used me as a guinea pig to build up to this moment, but sure, whatever. I assume I somehow made you believe that you had precognitive abilities. So, in your consciousness, Makoto-kun, the symptoms of Courie syndrome began to appear. In other words, you started to harbor a sort of delusion, Makoto-kun. However, the content of that delusion was a bit different from what I expected. You didn't think you had precognitive abilities, but you started asking yourself if you travel through time. What the heck does this mean for Kurumi? What does this mean? So somebody did this before, this Courie syndrome thing with the person who kidnapped Kurumi? This baby has super time travel abilities, and then that ended up being true? Okay. Alright, sure. If Izumi-san is to be believed, you didn't think you had precognitive abilities, but you started asking yourself if you traveled through time. I'm able to predict the future because I've experienced it once before. You started thinking that way. I intended to end the experiment without any problems. At midnight on April 7th, if I had told you everything, the delusion should have disappeared entirely. But Makoto's will was so strong that he actually went back in time. Everyone actually went back in time. That's insane. But that didn't happen. Indeed. Right before that, the absolute worst case scenario occurred. I died. I mean, why would you still end up back there again? Again? Why would you end up back there again? If this is like loop 0, right? You have nothing to hide. Okay, but like at least loop 1 further, you could end up back there again, and that makes sense, sure, but how did you end up here again? Seeing that, you probably thought, I want to go back to the past. I want to go back and change history. And I have a mysterious power to make that happen. That powerful thought distorted the reality you had inside of you, Makoto-kun. Your delusion created a new reality. So I went back to the past. I actually went back through time. And having already experienced the future, I ended up being able to have premonitions that came true. No, wait a minute. What about my memories then? In the previous loop, my memories were so vague, but now they're clear. Right, I was thinking the same thing. It's because Izumi now believes as well, right? Let me take another sip of water. Right, I was thinking the same thing. Memories are things stored in the brain, right? If that's the case, our brains right now are the same as they were just before we time traveled. However, in this time, there's only one me and one you and one Makoto-kun. In that case, we didn't come back here through time along with our bodies. So, where did these memories come from? The answer is they were already there. These memories didn't come from anywhere. Our brains are still stuck in that instant on April 6th. In other words, we didn't actually time travel. Hold on, let me reread this again. It's after midnight here, so I might that's probably maybe why I'm not understanding this. What are you saying? In the previous loop, my memories were so vague, right? Memories are stored in the brain, right? In that case, our brains are the same as just before we time traveled. But there's only one us. We didn't come back in time along with our bodies, of course, yes. So the answer is our brains are still stuck in that instant on April 6th. In other words, we didn't actually time travel. But I mean, you kind of time traveled, like at least a little bit. It's kind of like, you know, at least 50%. What are you saying now? Hey, Makoto-kun, maybe this reality is an event within someone's delusion. An event within someone's delusion? For you, it's a delusion that's sprouted within you, Makoto-kun. For me, a delusion that sprouted within me. So you're saying we're both dreaming? Listen, I haven't said anything about you going back to the past even once, have I? I just said that the strong thought of wanting to go back to the past in you distorted the reality within you, right? Yes, you did say that. Makoto-kun, you strongly wish to go back to the past after witnessing my death. But maybe that desire didn't send your consciousness back to the past, but rather only gave you delusions of an ideal past. Oh, okay. Yes, so a shared dream essentially is what we're having right now. So that means, if this is true, in the other routes, we don't actually save anyone. All the other girls die, and we just have we have this delusion of saving them. Is that true? That would be insane. That would be insane. If that is the case, like, that's incredible. That's very ballsy. I would love to know. Let's wait before I say anything. That would be insane. Huh? The observer's will determines the facts of the past. If a phenomenon like Schrodinger's cat is happening around us every day, one strong desire changing past events may be plausible. Wait, doesn't that mean I'm also dead in this timeline and also the Yuka timeline? I mean, we didn't really confirm it per se, but like it's implied that we both died, I thought. Okay, whatever. In fact, Dr. Caven has experienced such phenomena. But you know, it doesn't mean traveling back to the past and changing history or anything like that. It's more like changing the past the moment you It's changing the past the moment you start having delusions. In other words, Makoto-kun, at the moment you saw me die, you imagined another possibility where it wouldn't happen. Or to be more precise, you're having delusions of another possibility where it wouldn't happen. So now, the reality in front of me is not real? Yes, it's all in your deluded mind, Makoto-kun. What? I gotta wake up? That's what you're telling me? I'm in the Matrix? 9:01 p.m. Interesting. That's absurd. I'm trying to put into perspective. I'm trying to put into perspective the Yuka route in particular, because there was that moment in which it seems so dumb of like, Yuka, why'd you want to come back here? Why'd you want to come back to the shrine? Why are you here? And I'm trying to put that into the perspective of this, because maybe she knows something that, you know, she knows a little bit more than she's leading on. Maybe not in this route, but definitely in her own route. And with that in mind, she said, like, I just want to go back. Like, I really want to go back. And I don't, like, I had assumed, like, she wants to go back because she wants to save that boy who died in the fire. But maybe it's something... Maybe it's something different. Or maybe that is the case. But, I mean, she wouldn't have gone back. Again, it just would have been delusions. I don't know. It might help reframe the Yuka route, if that's the case. That's absurd. Absurd. Yeah, I think it is too. But there's no other explanation. For example, the cards. Do you think you could have memorized the position of all 46 cards? It's absolutely impossible. There's no way you could do it.
Well, have you heard about morphogenetic field theory? I'm just saying, morphogenetic fields are the key to everything. I'm just saying, listen to me, please.
I mean, truly, like, honestly, Zero would beg to differ. Like, this is Zero would be like, this is such horse shit. You don't understand. But I don't know. Maybe Izumi is right. You didn't remember the numbers on the cards. You simply created the numbers on them. So I became the god of this world. I became the god that I thought Izumi was. Okay. The moment you flipped a card, you determined a reality where the numbers would match up. Just like how the life or death of a cat is decided the moment you open the lid. From the potential possibilities that exist in superposition, you, with your own will, chose one of them. And your other premonitions were probably just like that phenomenon. When you said there's no rice, the rice had disappeared. That's impossible. When you said an earthquake's coming, an earthquake came. I mean, it's so out of the realm of possibility, but I mean, it's also very Uchikoshi-like. So, like, I'm having fun right now. I am having fun with it, because it's so batshit, like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? Izumi, shut up. But it's so... This is cool. This is a cool concept. This is a cool idea. When you said, we're having curry for dinner, the dinner became curry. On the flip side, if at the time you'd said we're having stew for dinner, which is true because we got options during that choice, the reality would have become stew for dinner. So even now, you're continuously creating new realities, Makoto-kun. On Saturday, April 6th, that horrible event happened, but you couldn't accept the fact that I died, Makoto-kun. So I just have to accept that you're dead. So you decide to create a new past, a history where I don't die. At first, you tried to completely erase all memories of everything you'd experienced in those 6 days and create a new history. If that's also the case, that would make sense, because it's like, I want to go back in time. We basically gaslit ourselves of like, I want to go back in time and save, you know, like Haruka, for example. And then we go back in time and we do that and we leave the loop. We leave the 7-day loop. And then, but we're still in that delusion again. So we're just living out the rest of our lives in a dream. That's insane. What's happening to our actual body right now? I mean, obviously we're in this route, we're, you know, off a cliff, maybe going to the hospital right now or something. What's going on actually in those timelines? Am I just in like an eternal sleep? Or how does that work? Okay. Okay, let me think about it a little bit more. It's time for the second break of the stream. Let me go over to Burb screen. If you are here, go stretch, get some water, try to think about anything else, really. Because this is kind of getting a little bit wild. It's a little bit crazy. I'll be back in 3 minutes, so see you then. Alright, I am back. Let me go over to game screen. Alright, cool. It also puts into perspective because, I mean, like, games can have multiple, you know, multiple major storylines, but like the major thing for me at least was that at the beginning of the game per se was that there are fully, like, there's just clones. So like clones are just a normal part of reality here, and I thought we were gonna get into like, I thought we were gonna get deeper into that, but it almost feels like that is kind of a red herring for what is actually going on, which is the time travel, which is very much like instead not time travel at all, but is really just delusions. And it really does make it seem like the shrine, right? The Shikinomori shrine is like, oh, like that's gonna be the, you know, it's just magic, like that explains everything. Okay, boo, there we go. But it's not magic, it's not supernatural at all. It's, well, I mean, this is definitely supernatural. Let's start there. But I mean, it's not really that supernatural. If the idea is that I'm just in a hospital bed, like within my dreams, this is kind of, actually, this is exactly like the Pokemon theory, isn't it? That one like Pokemon conspiracy theory that goes around on the internet, which is like, is it Pokemon? One of them where it's like Ash Ketchum is secretly in a coma and he's, you know, that's why he's perpetually 12 and he's never actually done the thing that must be done. So in that sense, I guess it's kind of like that. It's very crazy though. That's insane. Anyway, let me tab into the game. At first, you tried to completely erase all memory of everything you'd experienced in those 6 days and create an entirely new history. But it didn't work out. So the bell is not relevant at all? Because without any memories, I mean, if Izumi-san is to be believed, again, because without any memories, even in the reality within your delusion, you just repeated the same actions. So this is what you thought next. I'll try to remember just a little bit of what happened over these 6 days. Just a little bit. So, about the memory of my death, you decide to erase the specific content and only vaguely remember it as someone dying. But even so, you couldn't change history within your delusion. So I created a delusion within a delusion. So inevitably, you decided on a last resort, Makoto-kun, to accept all memories. However, you decide to conceal only the fact that this was a warped past. Delusions exist firmly in the mind of the person who harbors it. But we're having a shared delusion right now, even though you're dead. So does that mean you're not real? In which case, how are you giving me information? In the same way, to give consistency to this fictional past, to make it make sense, you absolutely had to not remember the fact that you were delusional, that you were freaking crazy. So, you decide to create a fictional story called The Infinite Loop. That these past 6 days repeated over and over are all real. It was to make yourself believe that it's absolutely not a delusion. In that case, right now, you standing in front of me, Izumi-san, you're just a figment of my imagination. That's what you're saying now. Is actually not something you're saying, Izumi-san. but something I'm just imagining in my head. Inside your mind, Makoto-kun. Yes, that's probably how it is inside your mind. The moment you create a history where I don't die, you return to the real world. At that moment, the infinite loop becomes a real event within the world. Becomes a real event in the worlds where you exist. But still a fictional event, right? In that world, that loop becomes something that exists as real, true history. Inside my mind, the world in which I exist. I don't get what you're telling me, Izumi-san. I mean, you're only talking about me, but what about you, Izumi-san? The reason you time traveled, Izumi-san, that's based on delusion too. If that's the case, then what happens to me? Do I just exist within your imagination? Yeah. Don't just say yeah. What the hell are you saying? I'm a person with an individual personality. I'm not some fictional character created by your consciousness. I'm not some fictional character in a video game. Makoto-kun, reality is something that can only be determined subjectively, right? The reality in your mind is a world that only you can see, and the reality around me is a world that only I can see. Alright. Alright, Izumi, take it down a notch. Roll it back a little bit. Hold on. The world around you is yours alone, just as the world around me is mine alone. If your consciousness were to vanish, so too would your world. And similarly, my consciousness were to vanish, my world would too. So this reality as well. Like, it makes sense what she's saying, but also in the context of everything else, it's like, whoa. For you, Makoto-kun, it's a delusion that's sprouted in your mind, and for me, it's a delusion that's sprouted in my own. But you're dead, Izumi. You don't understand. Like, you're literally dead. I witnessed you die, and now I'm creating a different history. At the moment of creating a history where Makoto-kun doesn't die, I've returned to the real world. So you're saying that in your delusion, you saw me die. Okay. Interesting. Because that's how Yuka was framing it as well. It was like, I saw somebody die in my dream. And so we saw each other die, essentially. And then we met up in this shared dream for one moment, I guess. I don't know. In my world, it's not you who has Courie syndrome, Makoto-kun, but me. Is that so? That's all I can say to this. Is that so? Okay. Makoto-kun, you continue to predict future events one after another, even though I hadn't done anything yet. From my perspective, it was nothing short of a miracle. That's right, I witnessed a miracle. Naturally, I began to believe in the third feature of the Courie syndrome, the idea that delusions become reality. Okay. That's certainly a way to look at it, but yes, I see. In other words, I started embracing the delusion that delusions become truth. Eventually, the worst-case scenario took place. Okay, I'm really hoping that Yuka shows up and just interrupts this conversation. I've never wanted Yuka to be annoying more than I've wanted her right now. Like, please. Your death, Makoto-kun. Seeing that, I wished, more than anything, I want to go back to the past to change the course of history. And now I know that it's possible. Delusions can become reality. A resolute will can create a new reality. So how do I know when I've broken out of the loops? Do I just have to be like, stop the delusions? I want the delusions to stop, and then I will wake up. The next moment, I began to fantasize, seeking another possibility. There was no doubt in my mind with Courie syndrome. I simply wholeheartedly believed my will can change history. A heavy silence hangs in the air. The wind has completely ceased. No leaves are rustling. We are surrounded by silence. Slow-moving clouds Fading moonlight. Darkness silently creeps in through the gaps in the tombstones. In the deep darkness, there's Izumi-san's figure. Her silhouette gradually dissolves into the darkness. Delusion. Fantasy. Illusion. Nonsense. Without thinking, I stand. This is a bunch of nonsense. Who cares about Courie syndrome or Schrodinger's whatever? Who cares? In reality, I exist here, and you're standing right there, Izumi-san. That is the truth. That alone is reality. I reach out and grab Izumi-san's shoulders. Her delicate shoulders. So fragile, I'm afraid they'll break. Here. I whisper as I embrace her. Tightly, tightly. So that she won't go anywhere. So that she won't disappear in my arms. I'm here, aren't I? I'm here, right? I'm right here by your side, Izumi-san. My arms overflow with her warmth. Her warm breath seeps into my chest. Makoto-kun, thank you, but I'm not real. It's okay. I understand. I've believed in you all along. So, as I said at the beginning, there's something I wanted to say before talking about this. The most important thing might be whether you can believe it, rather than whether or not it's true. I guess, but who's to say that staying in the infinite loop is a good thing? Who's to say? I don't know. I want to continue with my real life. Regulus, huh? With Izumi-san still in my arms, I look up at the sky. The moonlight is obscured by clouds, making the stars shine even more brightly. A cluster of lights spreads out across the deep blue. Why does the boundless starry sky feel so close? It feels like I can touch those lights if I reach for them. The stars are shining. That much I know. They're shining at this very moment. Makoto-kun, everything I've said so far is from me as a psychologist. The real me believes only in this reality right in front of me. Because I don't want to lose you, Makoto-kun. Because I want to believe in this warmth. Izumi-san presses her forehead against my chest. Like a cuddling kitten, she repeatedly rubs it against me. Her nose tickles my chest. Don't forget this warmth, okay? Don't forget that I exist, okay? Izumi-san had just said this to me. Finally, I understand what she means. Izumi-san, I believe too. I believe in your warmth, Izumi-san. I'll always be by your side. By your side forever, Izumi-san. So please, don't say any more weird stuff. To me, you're not a psychologist or a teacher, even though you are my teacher, technically. You are my teacher. You're just a goddess. Huh? I don't respond to Izumi-san's questioning look. I feel there's no need to. Just by tightly embracing her like this, just that, I feel I can convey everything I need to. I notice a gentle breeze has returned. It carries the melting sweet scent of her hair to my nose. The constellation Leo silently watches over our embrace. Huh. It's Thursday, April 4th. So I'm basically just making the decision of whether... Oh, fuck it. Kidding me. Wow, there's so many crabs here! I'm basically just making the decision of whether or not to let her go, I guess, at the end of this. Himegahama's rocky shore. I dip my feet into the waves.
Hey, is this a school for crabs, you think?
Seems more like a stable than a school.
A stable? What do you mean stable?
It's obvious, isn't it? A sumo stable!
Oh, does that mean the smallest one here is the stable master? Why? Well, usually the stable master is smaller than the active sumo wrestlers, right?
Ah, I get it now.
Yay! Crabby, crabby, crab! Little crabby!
Raising a cheer, Kurumi seizes the stable master firmly.
Hey, Mr. Crab, wanna play rock, paper, scissors with me? And rock, paper, scissors, rock! Yay, I win!
I don't think that Izumi's story is entirely correct. Unless the person that kidnapped Kurumi was Dr. Caven himself. Like, I don't think that was correct. It's not entirely true. It's that that's a possibility, but I think also if you really just believe the shrine and whatever is written there, like, you could just go back in time. I think that's for real. For real, which is why the bell is so important. Kurumi dances happily on the rocky surface. Her smile is so innocent. It's a normal day like any other. The world is in continuous motion. Suddenly, I look up at the sky. A hawk's flying, drawing a round circle in the air. There we go. Round and round, it continues to rotate. And then... At Kurumi's sudden voice, I look back at her. Huh? What's wrong?
No, nothing. I just found something a little interesting.
You found the bell! Something interesting. Makoto, I mean, you have a lot on your mind to be sure, but also don't be dumb. It's the bell. It's the bell, obviously. Something interesting. Oh, this? Kurumi gave it to me. The night before last, maybe? She said she found it at Himegahama. Yay, we remember. Which means, is it the bell? On the previous April 4th, Kurumi picked up the bell at Himegahama and gave it to Izumi-san. If history repeats itself... hey, Kurumi? Could you show it to me?
Fine, but only if you win at rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors? This isn't the time for games.
Oh, come on, I want to play. Alright, here we go. Ready?
I mean, just will it into existence, my guy. This is your reality. None of this is real. At that moment, my thoughts begin to go super speed. Last time, Kurumi definitely went scissors. Yes, that's right. Kurumi used the crab she was holding. In that case, probably this time too.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot!
At her cue, I thrust out a clenched fist. Naturally, Kurumi thrust out a crab.
Aw, I lost. Hey, Crabjack, it's all because of you, you know. I lost because you keep throwing scissors.
The stable master says nothing, white bubbles foaming from its mouth. Yeah, dude, the crabs, I guess they have foam from their mouth. Okay, I didn't realize.
Oh, can't be helped. Then, as promised, I'll show you.
She extends her left arm, opens her palm. Thank you for the hydrate. I hate voicing Kurumi. Thank you for the hydrate. Hello, Black Blue. I hope you've been doing well. All right. Anyone die yet? Any time shenanigans? Oh. Okay, so the quickest summary that I can do of this is that we learned more about Schrodinger's cat from Yuka, and then Izumi said... How do I even begin to explain this? Oh god. Okay, so Izumi said that we talked a little bit more about the Courie syndrome, and basically Courie is basically like feeding into your delusions. So what Izumi is proposing is that we're not actually going back in time, but instead we're just having delusions of then saving the girl, of going back in time and then saving the girl, but we're not actually going back in time. We're just living in delusion upon delusion upon delusion and thinking that we're a god of this world, essentially, I think. I don't know anymore. Like the whole past 40 minutes of stream have been kind of a lot. Yeah, but I think that's basically the plot as it's suggested. It's really, this is the Uchikoshi hours. It really is. She extends her left arm, opens her palm. Huh? Nothing. With Kurumi's palm, there's only seawater and some sand stuck to it, nothing else. So like every route where someone dies is just a delusion. Yes, that's what she's saying. Every single route, we don't actually go back and save them. We're just living in a delusion of a world in which we did save them, and we broke the loop. But it's not real. Hey, Kurumi, stop teasing me. Let me see it, please.
Huh? I'm showing it to you.
You're not showing me anything. Come on, don't mess with your elders.
I'm not messing with you. Really, take a good look.
A good look?
Yeah.
Nodding, Kurumi thrust her palm in front of my eyes. I stare intently at it. What do you mean? I still see nothing.
There is something. Look, right here.
Kurumi points with the crab's claw at the center of her palm. Upon closer inspection, sure enough.
See? I told you. Star sand.
Amazing, Kurumi. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful input. So how do you know what's the real world? We don't. I don't. Like, the whole world, from Izumi telling us this, the whole world's, if she's telling the truth, you know, like, and I think she really does believe what she's saying, but if she's telling the truth, the whole world just kind of collapses in on itself. We don't know what's real anymore. I guess we just have to keep saying that, like, stop the delusions, please. Let me wake up, and we will wake up into the real world, I guess. So maybe this is a delusion. This is a delusion, for sure, is what she's saying. We're all in delusions right now. Yeah, I don't know what's happening anyway. Star sands, hello, tiny jagged grains of sand. It's not the bell, but star sand. The star sand shines brilliantly amidst the water droplets on her palm. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. 10:38 a.m.
Ready and fight. You're still in it. Still in. Still in. With a push out, Crabjack triumphs.
The victorious stable master and the losing crab, Kurumi strokes both their shells with her fingertips. Still very cute. She wears a cheerful smile. An unchanging reality. A changing reality, star sand. Yes, this is just an event in your imagination, Makoto-kun. Suddenly, I remember Izumi-san's words from last night. I mean, she said a lot of words last night, and technically none of them are real. Is all of this just a delusion of mine? Kurumi's smile, the gentle sunlight, the sound of the waves hitting the shore. Is all of it something my consciousness fabricated? What the hell am I thinking? I'd be crazy to even entertain such childish nonsense. At this moment, time travel and infinite loops seem much more realistic to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Time travel. Woohoo! Believe in the time travel. Believe in morphogenetic field theory. Come on. Do it.
I don't want to believe in whatever Izumi is saying right now, because that's much more morbid for the rest of the game, the rest of the routes in the game. At this moment, time travel and infinite loops seem much more realistic to me.
Huh? Big bro, what's wrong? Your forehead's all scrunched up.
You have no idea, Kurumi.
Are you maybe not enjoying crab sumo?
No, I'm enjoying it.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have to force yourself, you know.
No, it really is a lot of fun. It's so utterly exciting, it gets my blood pumping.
And
Great. So time travel more plausible than being delusional. What has this world come to? Oh man, it's so... Because it really is, like, I've been playing a game where nothing happens the entire time, essentially. I've just been playing a game about a man going crazy this entire time. We're on Route 5, 6 at this point. Nothing has ever happened, essentially. It's basically just Umineko. Nothing has ever happened. Cool.
I was wondering if I was having fun, I was worried that I was having fun all by myself.
Kurumi brightens up. Hey, Kurumi, while you're talking to me, look, the stable master is running away. Is that okay?
Hey, just you wait, Crabjack.
No, get away from me. No. Kurumi hurriedly stands up, chasing after the stable master. But the next moment, Kurumi takes a hard spill, falling head over heels. A cloud of sand rises, her back is arched, and her face buried in the sand. What are you doing, Kurumi? I rush over to her, lift her up. Her face is covered in sand. Kurumi looks up at me with surprise. You okay?
I'd be squatting for so long, my legs went numb.
Kurumi flashes an embarrassed smile. Sand grains fall from her cheeks. An unchanging reality. A changing reality, Kurumi's face covered in sand. I think things will be alright. The most important thing is whether you can believe it, rather than whether or not it's true. So that's what that means. Kurumi closes her eyes, wipes the sand from her face with her wet palms. Despite her efforts, more sand sticks to her. The more Kurumi tries to brush it off, the dirtier her face becomes. Seriously. I use the back of my index finger to wipe Kurumi's cheek. Kurumi shyly sticks out her small tongue. I can't help but smile. So if I'm a god of this world, essentially, can't I just say, like, ooh, there will now be, like, Kurumi will now, like, when I pull her out of the sand, Kurumi will now not have a face, you know? She'll just have, like, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, essentially. I could make that happen, and that's how you really know that, yeah, this reality is definitely fake. Definitely fake. If Izumi's theory is to be believed. Or something, maybe something a little less scary, but the fact still remains that I could do that. 11:12 a.m. More than 10 minutes have passed since the final crab sumo match. Kurumi and I squat on the beach, gazing absent-mindedly at the sea. Waves continue to arrive without end from beyond the horizon, each one unique. Is that why, even if we keep watching like this, we never get tired of it? At the water's edge emerges white, delicate ephemera, drifting in and out with the ebb and flow of the waves, disappearing and reappearing.
Hey, big bro?
Hmm?
Do you like water?
Well, yeah, I guess. You know who really likes water? Haruka. You two should talk sometime. Water. So it would be the same as dreaming, right? How much control do you have over a dream, even once you know you are dreaming? I mean, once you know that you're dreaming, if you're, like, in that state, people tend to claim that they have, you know, quite a lot of control over their dreams. I don't personally, but people say that they have quite a lot of, like, oh, this is a dream. You know what? Let's just fly away. But, like, I don't know. It essentially, yes. Yeah, it's like a dream state, but Makoto should still have control over the dream because it's his will essentially being born manifest, if that makes sense. So yeah, I've never been able to control my dreams. Yeah, and apparently it's so common, and it's just like, it doesn't seem common for me. Water.
Yeah, playing in the water, taking baths, things like that.
I do. No, I do. Wow, look at that. A choice. I don't friggin' believe it. What the hell? It's been so long. I forgot that there were choices in this choice-based game. Free choice when Kurumi asks if you like water. So it didn't even friggin' matter. It didn't matter. Whatever. Sure, I like water. It's cool. If I had to say, yeah, I do. When I was a kid, I'd like to play with water guns and water balloons a lot. But why ask me about water?
Well, 'cause I like it. I like water too. Me, right? I love floating on the water's surface. Like a jellyfish, all relaxed, not a care in the world. It gives me this nostalgic feeling. Warm and gentle, like I just want to melt into the water.
What the hell is going on with you? We're not even done with your route, even though we're technically done with it. We're not done learning about you.
Actually, I really want to go with everyone. To the pool and the hot springs.
Then you should have come with us, Kurumi. As soon as I say this, Kurumi's expression immediately clouds. She averts her gaze and, with her shoulders drooping, picks up sand with her fingertips.
I was scared. Scared of everyone hating me.
Hating her?
On my back, I have a scar. It's a deep scar, as if it were carved out by a saw blade. The doctor said it might be a scar from when I was a baby, like right after I was born. But you know what? Mom, Dad, and Big Sis, they're all lying to me. They say that when I was 3, I fell down the stairs.
This is super awkward because we already know the answer to this, but I mean, Makoto doesn't, so... So she just tells you this in this route, when it was so important before. Like, she just, yeah, we're not even spending that much time with her. She's like, yeah, whatever, sure. Whatever, I guess everything is happier in this route. So, yeah, why not?
They say that when I was 3, I fell down the stairs. But when you look at it, there's no way a scar from falling down the stairs would look like mine.
I can't say anything. I don't even know what I could say. Faced with this unexpected confession, all I do is silently listen to Kurami's story. Can I skip this? I can't. Alright.
So yeah,
Not to be rude to Kurami, but,
So yeah, I have a bit of a painful memory because of this scar. In middle school, there was a boy I really liked, and he was a great harmony, taught me about studying all kinds of things. And after school, we used to go to a nearby park and every day and chat about dumb stuff. And even if it was just dumb stuff, it was a really precious time for me. Really, really precious. I really loved that senpai of mine. But one day, right, he suddenly stopped talking to me. And when we passed each other in the hallway, he wouldn't even look at me. After school in the park, I sat on the swings alone. All alone late into the night, swinging, just swinging.
I wonder if we're getting this specifically because we have to figure out that Kurami... we're gonna essentially come back to Izumi and be like, no, your theory is bullshit because Kurami traveled through time and she was just a baby when she did it. So how did she, how did she make a world in which A and B don't add up, essentially? It doesn't add up. There must actually be time travel. Time travel is indeed real. And whatever you're saying about delusions is not real. I mean, not in the way that you think it's real. Essentially something like that.
I later heard from friends that the reason why he stopped talking to me... later heard from friends, blah 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 blah.
A girl has a huge scar on her back. I don't know what happened, but in any case, it's a total turnoff. It's such a gross scar, I can't even go out to the beach with her. It made me look bad. Screw this guy. Screw this guy. He's, like, awful.
To be honest, I was pretty shocked. They gave me, that gave me a much deeper scar than the one on my back. It does, if the fact that Kurami time traveled is also a part of your delusion. I mean, Izumi might claim that, but there's no way that I could say that Izumi... there's no way that I could say that because how could I really say that I cared about Kurami before I even met Kurami and therefore made a world in which Kurami did the thing that must be done. I've just been living my life the same way each and every time. I don't know. I think not. That's my thing. I guess the question is like when did the delusion begin? How much of this is real and how much did you just make up? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think something about Izumi's story is a little fishy. That's what I think. But yes, you missed it. Hold on. I can do it. Hold on.
Hello, it is me, Zero, here to play a game. The game of all time, but it's not the notary game. It's not the notary game at all. It is instead Never 7, the end of infinity. And I'm just gonna be so real with you guys. This game is kinda fucked up. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. This is kinda messed up.
Anyway, yes. I don't know. Oops. Let me get rid of Zero as well. There we go. I wanted to add the quality of the Zero voice, which is like the Zero quality of like, could you speak with subtitles, please? I don't understand what you're saying, but maybe it's a little too muddled. I don't know. I have to go back in the VOD and check. But I kind of got voice effects to work, and it's really cool and neat. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna be so real. That's definitely Zero. That's definitely how Zero speaks. I can confirm. I totally remember Zero saying that. But hello, Chu. I hope you've been doing well.
A much deeper scar than the one on my back. Since then, I've been afraid to show my back in public. And yeah, that's why I didn't go to the pool or hot springs with everyone.
I'm furious. My body is trembling with rage. I wanna kick the shit out of that senpai of hers. Yeah, that's fair.
I've never told anyone about this before. I probably won't tell anyone in the future. The only one who knows is you, big bro.
Are you still in love with me? Because that's kind of awkward. I'm kind of in love with your sister, if you haven't noticed.
You're my big bro, and that's why I told you about it. This isn't just any normal thing.
After finishing, Kurumi tightly seals her lips. Thank you for the clip, and thank you as well for the clip that you posted on Blue Sky. I was like, wow, I saw like all the clips that you did for everybody. And I was like, this is so neat. It's so cool. It's really, really neat. But also, it's supposed to be your week off, so stop editing. I know that there's like nodes, the nodes stuff, and you can like set up a lot of presets in place in DaVinci Resolve. But also, stop editing. Stop doing it. But I appreciate the clips. Thank you. It's a messed up love triangle. It really is. So please don't fall in love with me, Kurumi. Don't do it. I searched for the right words to say. Something needs to be said. However, I just couldn't find the right words. Encouraging her cheerfully, sympathizing, or comforting her. My hands won't stop editing. It just does it on its own. It's fair. Everything seems somehow inadequate in the face of Kurumi's suffering and pain. Yes, suffering, pain. I have to be serious. And then... whoa! We feel a thunderous shockwave. Huh? Letting out a short scream, Kurumi jumps into my arms. Okay, but I didn't will this earthquake into existence, Izumi, so how do you explain that? In this unexpected turn of events, I'm thrown off balance, and I end up being pushed down onto the sand. Kurumi clings tightly to my chest. Blah, blah, blah. My arms, with nowhere else to go, wrap around Kurumi. Eventually, the tremors of the earth gently subside. Yet what remains is two bodies pressed together. The palms of my hands touch Kurumi's back. Even through her clothes, I can distinctively feel the texture. Deeply engraved lines of scarring, a bumpy unevenness. Kurumi's sorrow seeps into the palms of my hands. My chest throbs with a piercing pain. Kurumi.
It's okay. Please, don't say anything. In return, can we stay like this a little more? Because somehow I feel so calm like this. Like I'm floating on water. What does this mean? Your chest, big bro. It's so warm. I gently envelop Kurumi's scar with the palm of my hand. I feel a simmering warmth there. I wish her scar could just disappear. Okay. Okay. If she wakes up tomorrow and she's like, holy shit, my scar has disappeared, that's so dope, then we know that Izumi is totally telling the truth. And that's gonna be so awkward. But if that's not the case, if the scar is still there, then we have evidence to say, like, hey, I'm just saying, like, this theory cannot work. If only it was within my power. Under the scorching sun, the only thing I can do now is hold her tightly. ... 12:29 p.m. I don't want to load into a white screen here because the lights. After finishing the lunch that Kurumi brought to Himegahama, we are now walking toward Luna Beach, preparing for today's barbecue. It's not something we can leave to Izumi-san alone. Kurumi and I discuss it and decide to go help with the preparations. All right, cool. Cool. Let's go ahead and save. For the Morino sisters Izumi Cure route. We learned so much. It's kind of insane. I don't even think I got any special art to use as a thumbnail for this one. Well, that sucks. That sucks. Oh well. Let's hope that there's something else that can be used. Anyway, let's exit the game. Oh, I didn't mean to exit the game. I meant to go to the main title screen. Hold on. I don't want it to be awkward as I'm like going over my thoughts. Hold on. Let's load the game back up. This game uses autosave and it's in the shape of a bell. That's cool. Yay. Alright, cool. Now we're here again. My scars disappearing next morning would probably freak me out more than relieve me. True! It's like, is anyone gonna have any questions about that? No? Just us? Okay. But yes, that was Never 7, The End of Infinity. I feel like I'm going insane. I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Not if she forgets she ever had the scar. How would that would change her so much though. We seem to be, the way that Izumi described it is that we seem to be working in like little changes. So it's very specific to what we will it to be. So if the scar disappears, she's probably likely to remember it.
But I don't know. We'll have to see for next time. This route is giving a lot of information. It's very, very long, but I'm enjoying my time with it. This stream in particular was very, very crazy, and I can't wait to see what happens next time. It's looking like the Yuka Cure route is gonna be actually plot relevant, unfortunately. Woo. Which adds more playtime, because what does this mean? How much do I have to do if I'm doing the Yuka Cure route? Yeah. And apparently there's a normal end for the Cure route as well. What the hell? For the Izumi Cure route. What about what about Yuka? There's just a good end and a bad end for... There's 2 good ends, actually, for Yuka Cure route, and 1 bad end. And then what's after this? What's after this? There's the regular Izumi route, in which you can get a good end and 2 bad ends if you really want to. The bad ends are not that not that interesting, so it's fine. And then you can get the grand finale, the good end of everything. In which case, if Izumi-san's, you know, if that theory is correct, I'm hoping that's the theory where I can save all the girls, even though they're technically all dead, and this is just a delusion within my mind. Yes, Hookah, indeed. Who am I talking about? The Yuka's not real. My voice is dying. It's a lot of reading. How does this game have something called a normal ending? It doesn't. It's not normal. It's not normal. But with that out the way, and because my voice is dying so much, I am going to end stream for today. Let me go see if anyone is online to raid. Camille Tsubaki is online doing the same art piece, the same on Kohane Project Sekai art piece, but it's actually getting some color now. So that's cool. That's cool. That's neat. Let's go stop by, say hello, all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and put in the name and hopefully not spell it incorrectly, because that would suck. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go over to ending screen. Yay! But if you are here, thank you so much for hanging out for a little bit. I really appreciate it. I will likely... I'm still waiting on word to see if another family member is coming to visit, in which case, if they are, there might not be a stream schedule. However, there might be one. there might be one, there might not be one, I don't know. And I will be back likely streaming on Tuesday or Wednesday with a game and singular game. So yes, thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your night or day or whatever time it is. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye bye.